Roleplay Cafe is Dale here yet again to do a Joth recap. Session 26, Disinterment and Desecrations. Now, I wasn't unfortunately able to join in on this session, so I'm doing it via hearsay, as it were. But I'll try to relay it to the best of my ability, and so we can have a video recap of it as well. Session 25, we left off with Trotter and Lauren stepping outside of the tent and witnessing the owlbear leaving its cage. And that's where we left off there. And that's where we'll pick up here. Now, when Lauren and Trotter came out of the Well Witch's tent in the Long Tooth encampment to witness this, after a couple of steps, something washes over Trotter. He swoons and passes out, muttering something about the shadow that follows. And at this point, John's playing in this session. He's playing a dwarf named Bomrick, if I recall correctly. Bomrick. Well, Bomrick joins the fray in helping Lauren attempt to dispatch this owlbear, or at least control it to some degree, or corral it back into its cage. So they go to work in trying to do that. But the owlbear is somewhat ball and chain to this cage. There's a chain from its ankle leading to the cage, and it's having to drag the cage around. So it's somewhat in a precarious position because our two heroes can kind of do a pincer maneuver on it and put it where they would like it. So through these attempts, they notice that the shackles that is fettered to is about to break, and the Long Tooth brigade, as it were, come to bear on it. You know, calling for do not kill the beast. They've got their man traps, nets, pole arms, or whatever, to corral it back into the cage, and they do so successfully. Lauren and Bomrick are able to break away, and they turn around to find out what exactly is going on with Trotter. She's under the care of the Well Witch right now, who's trying to revive him. Hasn't been successful, and isn't ultimately successful in doing so. A fevered dream, as it were, that he's in. She suggests that they take Trotter back to Blackfish Bay and see the priest of Asgrim, which is Vellum, if I recall correctly. Vellum. Well, Bomrick, as dwarves are wont to do, protest. He thinks that because the Well Witch needs to go to Bricket's Bottom, that is more of a priority. You know, maybe the dwarf can stay there until they get back, but he's protesting on that, with that argument, pushing that through. The Well Witch doesn't subscribe to his point of view, and she points out that they need to get him to Asgrim to be looked at. The priest of Asgrim to be looked at. And he yields. Now, Lauren is with the Well Witch in that assertion that they should do that. So Bomrick yields, and they make a little litter and tie it to the back of Applejack, Trotter's horse, and they lead him back to Blackfish Bay. They get there and they try to, they put an offering in Vellum's owl skull offering bowl, but he won't see him, at that moment. Come back in the morning. So, they have to figure out what to do. They turn around and they go to Shenanigans, which has some rooms there. They take Trotter there to bed down for the night. They do take note of a golden fur on the hat, the fox fur, that Ignatius, the Shenanigans proprietor, is wearing. But they bed down for the night and to wait for the dawn. And early in the morning, though, before they can go see Father Asgrim, or the priest of Asgrim, there's some commotion with the knocking at the door. It seems that Farmer Tam's boy has rushed in, and he's upset, to put it mildly. Screaming his father and his family has been murdered at the farm. Lauren and Bomrick take off to go with the boy to find out what exactly is going down. They get there and they find that two of the graves of Gary Chamont and Stanford have been excavated, and the bodies have been removed and basically torn apart, torn asunder. They look in more detail, but they don't see that this is any indication of any beast that has dug up the bodies. Now, there's no gnawing or whatnot, but it looks like the limbs have been severed. They go to the farmer's cottage and find out that the door has been hacked open, and Bomrick notices that from the level of the axe blows, that he thinks that it comes from someone about his height and stature. Whenever they enter, they see, just as the boy said, Farmer Tam and the rest of his family have been, in a similar matter, taken out. So they go about the job of burying the bodies in a grave mound and reburying the bodies of Gary and Stanford there. They do notice that there's bloody footprints about the size and length and look of the dwarf Bomrick, which leads them to follow speculations along that line. They then go to the same doors that led into the tomb that back in session 24 that Trotter, Gary, and Stanford had delved into, and they reopened those doors, those great wooden doors. Bomrick does notice and is able to read the runes, or at least certain runes. Seems to be possibly dwarvish in origins, I believe. And I can't recall exactly what it says. Probably put that down in the comment underneath there, the blurb. But they enter, and Bomrick notices that there's a typical dwarven ball trap to the left, and the alcove to the left. To the right, they hear surreal, supernatural howls and moans and wails coming from that direction. They both give each other a look and steel themselves for the descent into the tomb yet again. So that's where it fades to black, and that's where we'll pick up in session 27. And something happens to Trotter, which I am now aware of, that should be interesting. This is getting pretty interesting here. So I know what happened to Trotter and why he had that reaction he did, and we'll see how this plays out. I don't want to let that cat out of the bag yet, though. So anyway, that was session 26 of Joth. And sorry I missed it, guys. But I'll be happy to jump back in on session 27. All right. Take care. Peace out.